Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the January 15th, 2026 meeting of the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners. If everyone would stand with me, please, I'll recognize our Commission Chaplain, Romel McMurray, and he'll lead us in our prayer and our pledge. Commissioner McMurray.
All right. Thank you, Chairman. If you could please bow your heads, let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening to say thank you. As we step into this new year, I declare and decree hope, faith, and divine expectations over us all. I decree that new doors will open, fresh grace will flow, and purpose will be restored. Lord, we walk not in fear because we choose to walk in faith. We trust in you completely because in Galatians 6:9 it states and reminds us that we should not become weary in well-doing. For at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we not give up. So God, we won't give up and we won't give in unto the enemy. For we know that the more we pray, the more power that we have. Let us never limit our prayers because we think that we're sinful or undeserving. We pray because of who you are and because we are all children of the Almighty King. As leaders, let us follow Christ wherever he may lead us. We know that you, O God, didn't create us to fit in, but you set us apart for a holy purpose. This is a new year, so we may face some challenges, but I know that as a unified body that we won't give up when times get hard. We make the call, we steady the ship, and we protect the vision even when it might drain us. For we know that's the real job. We know that's leadership vibes. It's responsibility, it's pressure, and it's also sacrifice. Dear Lord, I ask that you be with the families of those that may be in bereavement. We say a special prayer for MTSU President Dr. Sidney McPhee and his family on the passing of his wife, Liz. May you give them the strength to carry on and comfort, knowing that she's in a better place now. Father God, watch over us, watch over our land. There's a lot going on these days, but we know there's no problem that is not big that you can't fix. We thank you for our military. We thank you for our first responders and for all those who keeps us safe home and abroad. As we approach this Martin Luther King weekend, let us remember what he said by asking, what is life's persistent, urgent question? What are we doing for others? So if we can't fly, then we run. If we can't run, then we walk. If we can't walk, then we crawl. But whatever we do, let us keep moving forward. God, I ask that you bless Rutherford County, the state of Tennessee, and the United States of America. It's in your name that we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 3 white stars on a field of blue, God keep you strong and ever true. It is with pride and love that we salute the flag of Tennessee.
Thank you. You may be seated. This time we'll call on our Rutherford County Clerk, Lisa Crowell, to call the roll. Lisa?
Commissioner Oliver.
Present.
Commissioner Piercy.
Here.
Commissioner Hall.
Here.
Commissioner P.
Here.
Commissioner Davison.
Here.
Commissioner Beverly. Commissioner Cush.
Present.
Commissioner Reed.
Here.
Commissioner James.
Here.
Commissioner Wilson.
Here.
Commissioner Anthony Johnson.
Present.
Commissioner Boyd.
Here.
Commissioner Paul Johnson. Here. Commissioner Irvin. Here. Commissioner Harris. Here. Commissioner Dodd.
Here.
Chairman Phillips.
Present.
Commissioner McAdoo. Here. Commissioner McMurray.
Here.
Commissioner Gooch.
Here.
Commissioner Sereno.
Yeah.
We have a quorum, 20 present.
Commissioner Beverly called a little bit ago, and he's on his way, so he'll be here shortly. This time, I'm going to make a small change. We're going to move the resolution. Well, let's do our minutes first. Item D, reading and approval of our minutes. I'll call for the June 3rd for our minutes from last month. I'll call on our Chairman Pro Tem Trey Gooch.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and colleagues. I have reviewed the minutes of December the 11th and find them to be appropriate and in order. My motion is to dispense with the reading and approve them as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve our December meeting minutes. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you. I'd like to move item F, that's the resolution of recognition for Oakland High School, up at this time, and I'll call on Commissioner Robert P.
Good evening. I'd also ask Chairman Harris and Chairman Phillips to join me. Our districts, Oakland is in my district, but these guys pretty much surround us and several other people. But please come forward. And gentlemen and ladies, please come on up. One thing I'm going to do, since we've kind of got a pretty good way of doing this now, I'm going to ask instead of me trying to name everybody and mispronouncing their names, I'm going to ask the players and aides to say their own name. And I'd kind of like to hear a little bit about you, your position for one, maybe your grade point average, major, if you're a senior, if you've got a scholarship going on. But anyway, like I said, this is a good habit that we've been getting into. A resolution of recognition for the 2025 Oakland High School 6A state champions. Whereas on December the 6th, 2025, the Oakland Patriots high school football team won the 6A Blue Cross Bowl state championship, defeating the Ravenwood Raptors. This achievement marks back-to-back 6A state championships and the fifth state title in 6 years. And whereas with 29 wins and only one loss over the last 2 seasons, the 2025 Oakland Patriots also won the 2025 Region 3 through 6A championship. And whereas the Oakland Patriots dominated the season under head coach Kevin Creasy, varsity staff Josh Connor, Tyler Eady, Scott Thomas, Eric Vito, Jason Sarge, Vance Henderson, Matt Duncan, David Watson, Ryan Knox, Justin Roberts, Marcus Bryson, Joy Mastrone, that's Coach M, I believe, Woody Washington, and Brett Roberts. And whereas the team members are, and this is where I'd like for you guys to share a mic and let these guys introduce themselves, coaches and everybody. All right down the line, please.
Josh Connor.
Joey Master Simone.
Trayvon Jackson.
Reed Smith.
Tayron Ryan.
Let's hear what your
Torrey
positions
Patterson.
are too. Yeah, go back down here. I want to hear what you guys have been up to.
Trayvon Jackson, linebacker.
Reed Smith, I play tight end.
Tayron Ryan, receiver.
Torrey Patterson, D-line linebacker.
Nora White, Oakland football manager.
Isaiah Davis, student manager.
Jamar Kenny, D-line.
Brendan Williams, center.
Kevin Creasy, 4.0.
Amelia Redding, offensive guard.
Keyston Stewart, center.
Will Millsap, running back.
Cullen Williams, linebacker.
Nehemiah Wade, linebacker.
Matthew Moore, punter, running back.
I don't know who that guy is on the end. Okay. Thank you, sir. Whereas this has been an exciting and successful season, and special commendations are due to all team members, coaches, and Principal John Marshall for their dedication and commitment, which has made another championship possible, and for bringing this wonderful publicity to our community for their good sportsmanship and inspired team play. Therefore, be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that we extend this resolution of recognition to the 2025 Oakland High School football team and coaches for their successful year. Resolved this 15th day of January 2026. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
I'm going to ask this 4.0 standing here to say a few words for us.
I do the microphone.
You're good.
Okay. First off, I do want to thank you for the special recognition. These guys were definitely overachievers, and they went out on the field a lot of times, the smaller team, maybe the younger team, maybe the underdog, and they came out and not only won the games, but they represented all of Rutherford County really well, and I'm proud of that. I'm also going to give a shout out to you guys. I want to recognize you guys and ladies. Commissioner Oliver, one of my former Booster Club members, had a son that went to our school. Commissioner Harris always recognizes us and gives a shout out. Lives in our neighborhood right down the road. But I want to give a shout out to you guys for passing something that wasn't always popular, wasn't always the most popular thing in the world to, spend so much money on a 52-year-old school. But as a person who went to school today with a feels-like temperature of 18 degrees, we're glad that both buildings are now connected, all right? We're glad that that was money well spent, and I feel like we're better off today because of what you guys have done in the past for us, and we want to tell you we appreciate that. Thank you.
Gentlemen and ladies, we're awful proud of all of you. Thank you very much. Y'all can be seated. Congratulations.
Under item D, you'll see on the agenda, there's a note to approve June 13th, 2024 meetings to include the digest. I forgot to bring that up, and of course, as always, our esteemed county attorney has brought that to my attention. So if you no objections, I'll let Nick explain what that is.
Well, our esteemed Jackson Patterson is the one who reminded me about it. It was discovered that the minutes from June 13, 2024, that have already been approved by the commission did not include the typical digest for whatever reason. It was just a ministerial oversight. And so all that is happening now is you're not amending the actual minutes from 2 years ago, the substance of them. Instead, we're just amending them to include the typical digest that is in every commission meeting minutes that are approved. So I don't know if it's appropriate for Commissioner Gooch, as the Chairman Pro Tem, to make that motion. It's simply just a form motion here to just approve the amended minutes to include the digest.
Can I just say so moved?
Yes.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second to approve amended June 13th, 2024 minutes to include the digest. Any comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you. At this time, item E is a resolution in recognition of the Great American Car Show Award. And I'll call on Commissioner Carl Boyd for that. Also, immediately following, without objection, I would like to move item L6, a resolution for the Smyrna Rutherford County Airport Air Traffic Control Tower to be moved up right after this so that the airport folks won't have to hang around here for a couple of hours. So without objection, I'll move that up on the agenda as well. Commissioner Boyd.
I'd like Evan Lester and the representatives from the Smyrna Airport come up, please. Got the award with you. It's a resolution of recognition for the 2025 Civilian Air Show of the Year. Whereas the Great Tennessee Air Show was named the top civilian air show of 2025 by the U.S. Navy Blue Angels on December 17, 2025 at the 2025 International Council of Air Shows Convention held in Las Vegas, Nevada. And whereas the U.S. Navy Blue Angels selected the 2025 Great Tennessee Air Show from over 20 civilian air shows across the nation, where the U.S. Navy Blue Angels performed in 2025. And whereas this award recognizes the exceptional community partnership and dedication by Rutherford County, the town of Smyrna, the city of Laverne, the Airshow Network, state and federal partners, the many volunteers, the Airport Authority Board of Commissioners and staff, and organizations whose collaboration, commitment, and dedication were vital in executing the 2025 Great Tennessee Air Show. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that we extend this resolution of recognition to the Smyrna Rutherford County Airport Authority and congratulate all those involved in making the Great Tennessee Air Show possible. Resolved this 15th day of January, 2026. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
I have a motion in many seconds. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Say anything you want to say.
I'll keep it brief, but I do want to introduce our two board members who are here, Mr. Ben Weatherford and Mr. Steve Harrison. Their leadership and guidance on our airport board is vital to our operations, so we really appreciate them. Again, my name is Evan Lester. I'm the executive director at Smyrna Rutherford County Airport Authority, and the U.S. Navy Blue Angels selected us, across 20 different air shows across the country, including Sun and Fun and all the big names across the country. So it really speaks a lot to what we do at the air show. But it recognizes exemplary execution, partnership, and dedication by a lot of parties, including Rutherford County, the staff, the resources, the town of Smyrna, the city of Laverne. And so we want to say thank you for allowing us and supporting us to do what we do at the airport each and every day, especially the air show. So I want to say thank you very much.
Thank you. At this time, we'll move to item L6, Steering Legislative and Governmental Committee. Chairman Craig Harris.
Commissioners, this is a resolution in support of Representative Robert Stevens, where he will be asking U.S. Congress for a federal grant to help build a tower at the Smyrna Airport. So this is him asking us as a commission to support him. So I'll read the resolution. Whereas Rutherford County owns 60% of the Smyrna Rutherford County Airport, whereas Smyrna Rutherford County Airport is the busiest general aviation airport in the state of Tennessee and the fourth busiest overall when commercial air traffic is included. Whereas Smyrna Rutherford County Airport is a major economic driver for Rutherford County, the region, and the state with great potential for future expansion. Whereas the current air traffic control tower at the Smyrna Rutherford County Airport is 72 years old with aging air traffic control equipment and undersized to meet future growth. Whereas the current air traffic control tower does not comply with the standards outlined in the American with Disabilities Act, with workers having to climb up and down 7 flights of stairs each day for their work. Whereas a recent Federal Aviation Administration study indicated the air traffic control tower should be relocated to a different location on the airport property, and it should be 51 feet taller. Whereas the Tennessee National Guard is moving from the Nashville Airport to the Smyrna Rutherford County Airport in the coming years, including military aircraft that will conduct additional operations at the Smyrna Rutherford County Airport. And whereas with expected future general growth, the anticipated increase in air traffic from the Tennessee National Guard and safety concerns with the current aging air traffic control tower,
The Rutherford County Board of Commissioners requests that the United States Congress appropriate funding in the amount of $21,500,000 for the purpose of constructing a new air traffic control tower at Smryna, Rutherford County Airport. Now therefore be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that this resolution be adopted and approved, and be it further resolved that the copy of this resolution be forwarded to each member of Congress representing Tennessee and each of Tennessee's United States Senators. Resolved this 15th day of January 2026. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Questions? Seeing none. If you would, we'll be on the board for this, Commissioners. If you would, please cast your vote.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the vote.
20 yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys being here. Okay. At this time, we'll go to item G, which is public comments, and immediately following that, we'll go to our Planning Commission administrator for our public hearing process. So once again, we have 10 people that have signed up, which will be exactly the amount of time that we have offered. So when I call your name, if you would come forward quickly, and you'll have 3 minutes to make your comments. First on the list is Kathy Watts, and her topic is public comments. Ms. Watts, 3 minutes. State your name and address if you would, please.
Hello, my name is Kathy Watts. I live at 2222 River Rock Crossing in Murfreesboro. I actually didn't want to give you my home address, but last month you denied a speaker from speaking because she refused to give her address. The commission doesn't always require speakers to give their home addresses, but in this case they did. Perhaps it's because they didn't want to hear the subject of her comments, 287G. By the way, after the murder of Renee Nicole Good, I wonder if Commissioner Gooch would like to change his comment about a special place in hell for those who made us afraid of ICE. I'm afraid of ICE, and I certainly should have no reason to be. I'm a white grandma. But in Minneapolis, ICE is hurting, killing, and detaining American citizens. That must not happen here in Rutherford County. I oppose the 287G and ICE's presence in Rutherford County. But back to my story. There's a lot of reasons why you might not want to give your address here. What if I have a domestic violence problem with my ex-husband and he's in the back of the room? I don't want to let him hear where I live. That would be scary. Perhaps I just have a problem with privacy. Or perhaps, like me, they were told by their daddy long, long ago not to tell people where they live when they live alone and are a woman. Some men don't understand that women have a lot to fear in this world. There are a lot of bad people out there. Some of them may be in this room. I wonder if all of the commissioners would be willing to put their home addresses on the county website. I suspect you wouldn't. There's no mention of having to provide your home address to make public comment in the resolution signed by Mayor Carr on June the 15th, 2023. I understand the need to know if the public speakers live in Rutherford County, but it doesn't have to be announced for all to hear. When I called in to get on this list, I was required to give my name, my phone number, and the subject I would be speaking on. I have no problem giving the mayor's office my home address at that time. I would ask that the commission clarify the rules to collect home addresses at that time and not require it here in public. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Pamela Jones. Topic is 287G.
My name is Pamela Jones. I live in District 20 at 3833 Manson Pike, since I know it's really important for you all to know exactly where I live, according to protocol, of course. Yeah, there seems to be a laser focus on how well we follow on-the-spot enforced protocol with the extremely limited time we're given to speak, and yet not a whole lot to be said about, say, the commissioner of my own district, Trey Gooch, last month interrupting my time too loudly and arrogantly bellyache that he doesn't have to listen to people like me. Who, Mr. Gooch? Your own constituents that dare to hold you accountable? I'm aware it's a feeling you're probably not that used to, despite the fact that you've had ethics. Oh. Okay. Your own constituents who dare to hold you accountable? I'm aware it's a feeling you're not used to, despite the fact that you've personally already had ethics complaints levied against you in the past, but I suggest you start to become very familiar with it. This isn't going away, and I don't care if you dislike me. I'm happy to offend your delicate sensibilities every month. Sure. You then had the nerve to turn around, address a brown Hispanic member of the gallery who also spoke, and tell her there is a special place in hell for people who told her to be afraid of the police kidnapping her. Well, I think there's a special place in hell for cowards who pretend not to see with their eyes and hear with their ears, which is why I now also ask that he be censured for his deeply unprofessional behavior. Not that I expect much from that either. Do you really expect us to believe most of you have been living under a rock as to what is happening across this entire nation as we speak? Just a couple weeks ago, in Minneapolis, Minnesota, a legal observer named Renee Good was gunned down in broad daylight while actively backing away from masked thugs in the street. A doctor on the scene asked to go to her aid, and he had guns pointed at him as he begged them not to let her bleed out. That ICE agent's last words after murdering her were, quote, "fucking bitch." We all saw what happened regardless of whatever false narrative this farce of an administration pretends, and you may pretend to yourselves. And this is only one instance in a long list of them, and this is what you're inviting here. You are complicit in choosing to look away while the sheriff, with already a legacy of incredibly poor judgment and misunderstanding of the law itself, look up Operation Candy Crush if you're interested, signs an agreement which would allow these very things to happen in your community, and then lie about even signing it every time he is asked. Which, by the way, Craig Harris, the fact that you set the budget every year, that's what gives you leverage. I'm so happy to educate you on that fundamental fact of your office. You're welcome. So I guess my final question I pose to you is this. Are you utterly inept or are you malicious? Because at this point, with how many times this has been brought before you and explained to you in detail, and yet you still sit on your hands and instead argue with your constituents for even bringing it up, it can only be one or the other. Pick. Don't want to be remembered in the dustbins of history as heartless cowards? Do the right thing and petition the sheriff to end the voluntary 287G agreement. Thank you.
Next is Violet Walther.
Mr. Chairman.
Topic is 287G.
As the next speaker's coming up, are there any rules or leeway in, can language be too far for this environment? I'm just curious if there's any policy or standard that before that gets out of hand, from our party or the other, from whoever, from a commissioner or from a
Let me try to clarify what's going on. Actually, there were some questions and complaints that related to people who were coming in, making comments, making protests that were paid from outside of Rutherford County. So, those were comments. We didn't try to verify it. We didn't try to do anything else other than to make sure that people who were making comments to Rutherford County Commission were Rutherford County citizens. I will forego the address requirement tonight if the speakers will verify that they're a resident of Rutherford County. Then, at our next steering committee meeting, we will take up the issue of public comments to see if we need to update the situation. Does that answer your question?
Well, I echo his comments. I will say it seems like the last speaker and a commissioner last commission meeting had a back and forth. It seems like that is now resolved in some way because each side has gotten to speak. I think it's important for rules of decorum that we keep personal attacks on both sides of the aisle at a non-existent and stick to whatever comments and factual issues that or opinions that the speakers want to speak.
Once again, the speakers do not have to reveal your address, but just verify that you're a Rutherford County resident, okay? Ms. Walther.
I'm Violet Walther. I live in District 2. Today marks the 6th monthly board meeting since Sheriff Mike Fitzhugh signed onto 287G. I'd like to share the story of Esther Lopez Sanchez, a Rutherford County resident directly affected by Sheriff Fitzhugh's mindless signature. Esther was wrongly convicted of a crime and spent her time in our jail pregnant and medically neglected. She gave birth to her daughter Heidi and only spent 3 days with her newborn before her newborn was seized by DCS. After pleading her innocence and having her charges dropped, she was immediately transferred to ICE custody. She is currently detained at the South Louisiana Detention Center. Heidi is with a foster family in Tennessee and could potentially be adopted while her mother is fighting every day to get her back. How do you sleep at night, Fitzhugh? A mother is missing her baby because of your signature, because you allowed ICE authority in our community. How dare you? I hope you never forget their names. Esther and Heidi Lopez Sanchez. The public has shown up here and spoken out profusely against the deal, and yet what we get from the board is a scolding. Trey Gooch had the confidence to interrupt my friend Pamela during her public comment, whining and saying things along the lines of, "Why should we have to put up with people like you?" People like us? Trey Gooch, Pamela Jones is your constituent. How embarrassing. Later, he addressed us in the gallery, and we got gooched as he condemned us to hell. I'm not sure if you fully grasp this, but you are an elected official, here to listen to the concerns of Rutherford County residents. How can we trust you at all after your hissy fit? Shame on you, Mike Fitzhugh. Shame on you, Trey Gooch. Shame on all of you. We have been pleading to you all to do something for 6 months now. Fitzhugh, exit the 287G. And board, we urge you to reduce funds for the Sheriff's Department. Lastly, Gooch needs to scooch. Thanks.
Next is Adam House. It appears that his topic is trash in the downtown area. Mr. House.
My name is Adam House. I am a voter who lives in Murfreesboro for about the last 15, 16 years off and on. I want to introduce myself because this is the first time I've ever taken advantage to talk in front of the community like this. I'm also a disabled retired combat veteran of the 173rd Airborne Brigade, combat veteran of the war in Afghanistan, and I'm an old guy. I'm an old broke down soldier now. I'm thankful for my VA health care that's taken care of me as I've been through a series of surgeries. And I appreciate this community and MTSU, where I use my education benefits from the military to continue my higher education, which is what I focus on now in my retirement. So I'm here to talk about this boring subject of trash in the downtown area simply because, the little things lead to bigger things. I think we all learn, and I learned in the military, when you leave garbage laying around, it kind of invites more garbage to come, and when you let trash pile up, it lets us have this feeling that we can continue to let trash pile up, and it invites more of it. So, in this kind of political environment, I'm reminded Mark Twain said something to the effect that politicians are like diapers. They have to be changed pretty often for the same reason. And I'm also reminded, even the Bible says, by their fruits you shall know them, and we all know when you've got rotten fruit, you need to throw it out, right? So I'm real concerned about some of the trash that I see piling up in the downtown area. In fact, if you go downstairs right now and walk out here on the square, on the very corner of this square is a large hunk of metal trash to a Confederate traitor who murdered the real heroes of the Civil War who stood against slavery. And that kind of trash invites more trash. It's the trash of our country's original sin of white supremacy that so many people gave their lives to fight against. And, the thing is, when we have that kind of trash sitting around, it makes people feel like they can go ahead and participate in a program like 287G and invite Fuhrer Trump's ICE Gestapo into our community to terrorize American citizens. And it's absolutely wrong. And I want you to know that there are people in this community, when ICE tries to visit terrorism on the American people, they will be met with resistance. So I call on my community. It's time for us to compost the rotten fruit, change the diapers, and take out the white trash.
Next is Jacob Jones. Topic is 287G.
My name is Jacob Jones. I live in District 20. The recent murder of Renee Good and subsequent ICE action in Minnesota is exactly why we keep coming up here and talking about this, why we won't let you be. And it's also why I don't have any faith in the commission to look after the interests of its residents. ICE is an organization that now has the single largest law enforcement budget on planet Earth. It is larger than the standing military of several sovereign states. ICE and DHS now routinely use Nazi slogans on their publicly facing social media, on their publicly available recruitment videos. They have reduced normal training period for immigration officers from 6 months down to 47 days. I'll let you figure out why that is. They have fast-tracked all background and drug testing. They are not doing any background checks on domestic violence. They have no problem rushing people to the front lines, as it were. They're conducting warrantless house raids, house sweeps in Minnesota. They're detaining U.S. citizens and anyone they can to fill quotas. And these quotas are not something that the administration hides but openly brags about. After all of this, and an increasing surge after the brazen murder of an American citizen in broad daylight, this is the organization that the county is still in a voluntary agreement with, one hell-bent on destroying the Fourth Amendment and any idea of accountability by law enforcement or equal protection of the law. We are now all subject to the whims of masked men with guns roaming the streets. This agreement the county is in can end tomorrow, but it likely won't. They say they're unsure about the nature of this agreement. They say that there's nothing that they can do, but that just isn't true. They have control of the county sheriff's budget, and they can use that as leverage to negotiate. If you live in Rutherford County, whether you're a new resident, a longtime resident, a renter, a homeowner, whether you're a born citizen, undocumented, white, black, brown, or anything in between, your interests are not being taken into account. When they run out of blue cities and blue states, they're going to come for blue cities and red states because they cannot meet these quotas. That means they're going to come to Nashville, Davidson County, and then they're going to come here. No matter how many innocent people are caught up in the chaos, no matter how much damage is done or how many lives are ruined, I don't have any faith that these county commissioners are going to take your interests at heart and get rid of the 287G agreement. They will not lift a finger. They will not say a word of protest when this violence comes here in full force. And I just wanted to let everyone know, if you are out there, please register to vote. Learn who your county commission is. Get out there and make your voice heard. Thank you.
Next is Alan Kamerlinja. Topic is 287G.
My apologies. I come here today to help my community, to help this board, and to help the sheriff and all the people and my neighbors in Murfreesboro. You are all at risk, and you may not even know it, and the people in this community, as you can see, hear me and agree with me. After 1930s Germany, hundreds of trials were in law, and they weren't innocent until proven guilty. They were guilty until proven innocent, and the conviction rate was about 80%. It was up to the Jewish people to decide which officers were truly not evil, and the rest either got life sentences or a rope necktie. From the bottom to the top, German soldiers and police said they were following orders, but the international community decided that that wasn't enough, and we agreed that people were responsible for their actions. What this administration is doing follows the same playbook. They are kidnapping people based on the color of their skin, based on accents, based on jobs, and sending them to camps inside and outside of the country that they do not return from and we cannot track. They are taking people who have done nothing wrong. And that, again, is including U.S. citizens. If you don't believe me, there are countless videos, and you can look up countless U.S. citizens that have been detained. Undocumented status in the U.S. is a civil misdemeanor, the same as a traffic violation, like your daughter jaywalking down Broadway or your son's truck tint being too dark. And why the discrepancy against brown people? We have a huge immigrant community here, Hispanics, Laotians, and many more that help this city grow and thrive as nurses, workers, janitors, construction workers, restaurant workers. And at the end of the day, they're human beings with livelihoods. For God's sake, they pay $100 billion in taxes. That's more than Netflix, Amazon, GMC combined. This is a direct violation of international law, and there will be consequences. The administration is using you, Sheriff Mike Fitzhugh, and your police to enact these crimes. So I ask, is 287G really in favor of the immigrant community and the entire community to speak up in your defense when this administration seizes? We have seen how untrained these federal agents are. Minneapolis, 37-year-old mother of three, Renee Nicole Good, was shot in the head by an ICE agent. And we have other agents there that are running onto high school campuses and pepper spraying students and tackling teachers. Do we really want that for Rockville, for Siegel, for Blackman? Exactly what they said. They are going after blue cities in red states next, and that means 30 minutes from Nashville. We have reps claiming to be in talks with Stephen Miller about making Tennessee a model of immigration enforcement, while nothing is being done to lower grocery bills, have cheap rent, affordable childcare, and our safety does not improve. All these agents bring are fear and chaos. And beyond the very real physical and legal threats of my neighbors kidnapped, if you're a Christian, what side do you think Jesus would be on? Matthew 25:41 says, "Away with you, you cursed ones, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his demons. I was hungry and you did not feed me. I was thirsty and you did not give me a drink. I was a stranger and you did not invite me into your home." And they will reply, "Lord, when did we ever see you like that? When you refused to help the least of my brothers and sisters, you were refusing to help me."
Next is Holly Cardan. Topic is 287G.
Hello, my name is Holly Carden, and I live on Delwood Drive in Smyrna. I've lived in Smyrna 25 years. I'm here because state leaders have publicly acknowledged working with federal officials to make Tennessee a model for aggressive enforcement policies. This, along with voluntarily signing 287G, has understandably created fear, especially in our immigrant communities, about increased federal presence and unaccountable actions. Across the country, we've seen serious public concern around federal immigration operations, including instances where local officials have criticized ICE activity for undermining public safety and community trust. Even if those situations are not identical to ours, they raise an important question for any county which has chosen to participate voluntarily like ours. So my concern is not political at all. It is 100% about accountability and protection and safety for the community. When federal immigration agents operate in our county, residents deserve to know who is responsible for protecting us if something goes wrong. So I'm asking for clear policy, not assumptions or reassurances, but written policy. If federal agents are present in Rutherford County and residents feel threatened or harassed or unsafe, can we call the police and get a response? Will Rutherford County law enforcement intervene if they witness unconstitutional conduct or excessive force or behavior that terrorizes residents, regardless of which agency is involved? And this is very important. Does this agreement permit door-to-door enforcement activity, or does our county retain firm limits on where federal agents can operate? And I'm asking the Commission to ensure that there are public, written boundaries, transparent reporting, and a clear commitment that Rutherford County law enforcement remains accountable, first and foremost, to people who live here. Thank you very much.
Next is Matt Fee. This topic is 287G.
Hey, everybody. My name's Matt B. I live on Winding Branch Drive in Christiana. I've been here enough times. Everybody probably knows where I live already. I had a speech written. I'm not going to give it. I watch month after month people come here pleading for their neighbors that they want to feel safe in Rutherford County. And I know we don't see it. We don't see videos of Rutherford County. Doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. But I really feel like that we are so much better than this. It's so simple. It's really, really simple. It's just one thing. Sheriff Fitzhugh voluntarily signed an agreement with ICE. We all see the videos every day. We all hear the reports on the news every day, what ICE is doing all over the country. I love Rutherford County. I've lived here over 20 years now. I moved here to go to MTSU and I stayed. I love it that much here. But to think that this warm community that's here in Rutherford County, these people, that our elected official, our sheriff, would voluntarily sign an agreement with this organization? We're better than that. We're so much better than that. It's pretty easy to lower the temperature on this. It just takes one action, one act of courage from the sheriff. That's it. People are being very brave every month coming up here, talking about this every single month. And all we need is for one of our top first responders, the bravest of the brave in Rutherford County, to do the brave thing and cancel the agreement with ICE. We don't need that association. We don't need it. It's a black eye on Rutherford County. I pray for Rutherford County. I really do. Thank you very much.
Next is Anna Karina DeWitt. Her topic is 287G.
Good evening. I am Anna Karina Lorenzana DeWitt, and I live in District 16. And I'm here to ask what I've been asking for the past several months. I want this contract, this 287G contract, to be canceled. I want ICE out of Tennessee because I have witnessed far too many people die. Renee Good is just one in a long, long list of many. Did you know she wasn't even the first one of 2026? That honor goes to Keith Porter, who died on New Year's Day. This is too much. This is too much. It's too many people who have died, who have gone missing, children who have disappeared, parents who have these holes in their hearts, if not in their heads. When is it enough? I mean, seriously, can anyone give me an answer? When is it enough? I'm pleading, I'm begging, I'm at a loss. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't want to die. I don't want anyone to die for me, or for my cause, or for my family, or even for my community. Because I know what that feels like. To lose the people closest to you. To lose your own siblings, your own parents, your grandparents, and you have a hole there. A hole that can never be filled by anyone or anything ever again. So I am asking you all to consider what is at stake here. Because I don't want to die. I don't want my neighbors to die. I don't want my friends to die. And I don't want my family to die. And I don't want anyone in this building, anyone in this audience to die either. but I cannot guarantee the safety of any of these people in this building if ICE continues to be in my community and in my backyard. I don't know what to do. I'm helpless. I can't save the lives of these people. I'm trying. That's why I study public health, because I'm trying. But I cannot save their lives, and I cannot bring Renee Good back from the dead, and I cannot bring Keith Porter back from the dead, and I cannot bring any of those children back to the arms of their parents. So what else can I do? So please, for me, for my family, for my community, my neighbors, my friends, and for the health of every single Rutherford County resident, please cancel this contract. Demand that ICE leave your backyard. Demand that ICE leave Tennessee for good. Thank you.
Next item K on our agenda is public hearings. I'll call on our Planning Director, Doug DeMasi.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, everybody. Doug DeMasi, County Planning Director. I have 3 public hearings for your consideration tonight. The first 2, actually, but the first one is Jeffrey Turner. This is located at 5905 Franklin Road. Property is presently zoned residential medium density RM. He is asking for office professional on about a 0.7 acre piece of property. Development plans for this property include interior renovations to the existing house to make it a more functional or professional office space. The applicant owns property immediately adjacent to this to the east, 2 properties, one at 5845 and also 5871 Franklin Road, which were rezoned to office professional back in 2022 and 2024, respectively. This is not the first time he's done this. He's also rezoned other properties further to the east along Franklin Road, which he uses for similar purposes. You can find additional information on those in the applicant's letter, which is included on your iPads. You'll also find a concept plan, which has been included with your agenda packets on your iPads with the staff report. The plan that you'll see shares, you see shared access between this property and the one at 5871 to eliminate potential conflict points. As it turns out, TDOT's going to require a shared access for all 3 properties. The applicant's been made aware of that. An engineered site plan, of course, should this be approved, would have to be submitted to our office for review, which would also more than likely require Planning Commission action depending on the activity that's going on as far as new buildings or anything like that. These properties are also, office professional zone properties, are also required to provide a type 1 buffer adjacent to any residentially zoned properties. This property, again, is to the east is already bordered by office professional zoning and will share access, so no buffering will be required on that side, but he will require buffering on both the west and the southern property line, and again, an engineered site plan would show that as well, and our performance standards would apply. During our presentation, at the Planning Commission meeting, we did clarify access to the property. I discussed that again about all 3 properties sharing 1 access point. The Planning Commission also asked if there were individual septic systems on these properties, which we did answer yes. There were also some questions as to whether or not the lots were governed by a homeowners association. We answered that we did not know that. However, we do counsel applicants to check for any restrictive covenants or HOAs prior to moving forward with their development plans. That's not something that we would consider as the county in any rezoning process or development plan, but it is something that they do need to look at. Following the public hearing, nobody did speak, but the Planning Commission did recommend approval of the application by a unanimous vote. The applicant is present, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for staff? Any questions for Mr. DeMasi? Seeing none, I'll declare the public hearing open for item REZ 25-029, Jeffrey Turner. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this rezoning request, please come forward. Seeing none, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Commissioner McMurray.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have had several conversations with the applicant, and also I have not had any concerns from anyone in the area except for positive things. So I do make the motion to approve this particular property from rezoning from residential medium density to office professional.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve item REZ 25-029. Questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you. Mr. DeMasi.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our second item for consideration tonight is also by Jeffrey Turner. This is located also on Franklin Road, but a little further to the west, 11642. Property is zoned RM, and he is asking for light industrial zoning on this property, about 11 acres. For a little bit of background on this particular property, we did, as staff, become aware of a potential unapproved business on this property. The property owner and applicant became aware of the situation as well, and actually has the property cleaned up, so the property is in a lot better shape now than it was. Following that, the applicant met with staff regarding potential uses for the property. According to a letter submitted by the applicant, again, it is within your staff reports on your iPads, he would like to zone the property light industrial to develop a self-storage facility, which would include RV and boat parking areas. He feels this development will provide a secure and convenient storage option for this area, and also references other similarly zoned property and uses in the area. Many warehouses, self-storage, another way to refer to them, are allowed by right in the light industrial zone. This is different than in the commercial zones, which it's only allowed by special exception by the Board of Zoning Appeals, but he's asking for a designation that would allow it by right. You will find a concept plan in your on your iPads and your agenda packets as well, demonstrating his development intentions. It's not a planned development, so it's not bound by the plan, but it does give you an idea of how we'd like to move forward. The concept plan shows the general building layout along with access points, at least at this time, shown both out on Franklin Road and Almaville Road. The concept plan, again, shows these access points. No traffic study has been done at this point. Staff can require one should we feel it's necessary whenever a site plan is submitted, which would have to be done. TDOT approval will also be required for these access points, as Franklin Road and Almaville Road are both state roads, so they'll have to get TDOT involved into this discussion as well. TDOT could also require a traffic study to determine allowable access points. Industrial zone properties are required to provide a type 3 buffer. We talked on the last application about a type 1. This is a thicker buffer, which is adjacent to residentially zoned properties. Again, that would be shown and demonstrated on the site plan that it meets our development requirements, and our performance standards would also apply. Some of the planning commissioners felt that a planned development approach would be more appropriate than asking for light industrial. The applicant said he would need some time to research whether to pursue a planned development application, but preferred to move forward with the request as submitted. He said he also spoke with his neighbors and the county commissioner of that district, and that he had support for what he was asking for. There were some speakers during the public hearing. One person did speak regarding too much industrial zoning in the area, the need for a stormwater study, and also how the widening of Franklin Road could impact the properties in that area, and felt also that he wanted to keep the area more residential in nature. The first motion was to defer this application to allow the applicant time to research the possibility of going with a planned development approach. That motion failed. The second motion was to approve the application as it was submitted. That motion did succeed by a vote of 7-3. Again, the applicant is present, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Mr. DeMasi? This time, I'll declare the public hearing open for item REZ 25-0-30 for Jeffrey Turner. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this rezoning request, please come forward. Name and address for the record. Name and address for the record.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Sandra Severance. I live at 11883 Franklin Road. Just a few hop and a jump skip by this proposed plan. And I'm humbly asking you tonight to protect our residential and rural community. The area west of Almaville Road is primarily residential, and they already are looking at moving an industrial park type property right off of 840 and Almaville Road. I don't know, during my research, I found 20 types of storage facilities and businesses in the surrounding area. I looked on the websites, and all of them had vacancies where you could store your property, park your boats or RVs. And so I asked myself, is there really a need? And I know in the presentation they talked about, well, there's already some of these storage facilities in the area. That is true, but that is east of Almaville Road, not west of Almaville Road. There are very few businesses in that area. We moved to Rutherford County on Franklin Road because the feeling of living away from the hustle and bustle of an industrial area and businesses. And I really liked coming off the freeway and there was no businesses or gas stations there. Although I respect the applicant's desire to open a business, and actually has a couple of businesses, and they live in the county, but the county's 600 square miles. They don't live in our area. No one came and spoke to us about if we would like this property rezoned into a commercial zoning area. They certainly don't live in the vicinity, and where it would impact our views, our quality of life, our property values, and even the outdoor animals that we have in the area. On Tuesday, the Planning Commission already approved, as I mentioned, the rezoning at Almaville Road and 840 and made those recommendations to you. Again, we didn't move into this area to be close to strip malls or other types of businesses. And last, I really want to point out to do your research on what storage facilities can do in areas. Yeah, some are great, you can store your stuff there, but there's already an overconcentration in the area that you can store your things with vacancies. Some prohibited activities, if you do the research, illegal lodging for people that can't afford to live in a home. People use it as a business facility as well. Lastly, they also use it for illegal activity like clandestine labs. And so we're asking you to deny the request for zoning to preserve our community, the wildlife in the area, and the feeling of living in the country, which is why we moved there.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against this rezoning request? Anyone else? Just a reminder, you have 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
I'm Douglas Kerrigan. My wife and I have a second home at 12,000 Franklin Road, which is about 2 doors down from this proposal you guys are looking in front of you tonight. There's a couple things that really concern me. We can talk about safety first. So my wife and I went there tonight. We tried to pull out from that property, and what we noticed, you have about 150 feet to get out of that lane and turn left to come back to Murfreesboro before a car will meet you at 55 miles an hour if they're going the speed limit. Now they're talking about putting a storage unit with boats and RVs. It would be literally impossible to pull out without any accidents, I promise you. Anybody go over there, I would challenge you to pull it out of that driveway, and you can even do it at night. If you're not looking for the hill, car coming off the hill or a glare, you'll pull out in front of that car, I guarantee it. And there's going to be a lot of wrecks there if you have a lot of traffic going in and out, storages, boats, RVs. That's one thing. So I'll challenge you to go over there before y'all approve this and to come out on that drive. Now, a couple other things bother me. The DOT is already planning on somewhere in the near future is taking that part of the road up to probably 180 feet. Well, I saw the proposal, that house is sitting about 110 feet that's pre-existing there to the center line of the road, so that would have to be demolished, but in the plans it showed that it's going to be part of that development of the storage units. That's a concern as well. So now it's going to even shorten the distance even more. The other thing is now there's on the corner adjacent, there is power lines. So the applicant is requiring or requesting to put RVs, trailers, boats, equipment, anything you want to think of right on the eyesore of 96 and Anvil Road corner, which will look pretty bad. It really will. If you can imagine all the equipment be sitting there on the main highway when you turn left and you're looking at it again. Give you another good example. Just go down 231. Just look there on the exit, all the boats and trash and everything sitting there in the parking lot, which is an eyesore to the public when you come into town. And that's another concern. The other thing is we all got a lot of money invested in our properties. I think the lady came here. I think they're way up in the $1 million range for their land and their property. The next door the same way. The guy across the street, $2 million. I got a new tax assessor I wasn't happy with, and mine's pushing close to $1 million too for the barnuminium. And so we like to keep the community, not a business. There's enough places in town. And the gentleman wants it. He's got 100 acres down the road. He can go take it to the next location and put it on these other 100 acres next to these homes because we don't want it next to our home. So thank you very much for your time, and I hope you guys will consider what I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'm Jeff Turner. I am the applicant. Just wanted to make myself available for any questions and address some of the concerns. I did go door to door to every house within range. We sent out letters. We have all the blessing of all of our neighbors directly around the property, with the exception of one gentleman a couple doors down. We do live in the area. We live right up the road off of Rio Bat on Coleman Hill. And we do own several properties on Franklin Road. I was born here. I love this town. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. I do employ a lot of people from this county, and I respect what you guys have to put up with and what you do. As far as the property, DOT, we have to deal with the state of Tennessee. That is going to be a 5-lane road whenever it's budgeted, right? Whenever the money's there. We don't know when that'll be. It's been planned that way for a long time. And it may be a long time before it comes, but it is a 5-lane state highway. Traffic is getting worse, obviously. But mini storage units, the studies show that they don't really have that big of traffic impact on that area. We have plans. We will put in great, really nice buffers, trees, shrubs. I'm not a big fan of wooden fences, so we'll do a really good job of buffering. We don't own the corner lot at Almaville Road, so when you turn left on Almaville Road, there will be a separation there. And there is power lines. Already they're kind of ugly. We'll hide those better. And I do own a house directly across the street from this one that I will lose when Franklin Road gets widened. I've talked to all my neighbors there. A lot of them are family, and they realize where we're going in this corridor, or if you will, this county. That's where it's headed. We have this great opportunity with 840 exit to provide services to that side of the town. We're really close to the county line, and I would rather keep the tax money in Rutherford County than the other side of the line. The fact that we have the Almaville Road exit on our side of the county is going to be a business asset. And that's the way this is headed. I've operated mini storages before. Some of the concerns the lady respectfully brought up have never been a problem in my facility. We monitor those. We are active. I will be present, probably be run by family and friends. And I don't know if it's appropriate to make myself available for questions, but I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Jared Severns. I also live at 11883 Franklin Road. A lot has been said already that I have written down here and I won't go over. I'm going to simplify it real easy for me to try and get across to all of you my opinion on this. Is there a need or is there a desire for this? And I can tell you there's no need, because in Mr. Turner's own letter to you, 200 feet down the road is another storage facility. And we don't need several hundred more storage units. We don't need areas for boats. We don't need areas for RVs. Most of us in the area have multiple acres, barns, outbuildings, and other facilities to store our own properties. 30 years in law enforcement, both state and federal. I can tell you a lot of my narcotics investigations lead back to storage facilities. It's a great place to store them. It's a great place to manufacture them. And it brings an element into the community that we don't want in the area. You can think of several terrorist incidents where terrorists have their home base at these storage facilities. Yes, that's a stretch, But again, it's something that we don't want. And I appreciate Mr. Turner's going to be, on site and available, but as he just stated earlier, or as was stated earlier, the property already had a violation that brought the county out once. So are we going to mismanage it a second time and allow a bigger facility with more potential problems to come there? And for somebody not to be able to oversee those? Yes, maybe family or friends will be on site, but they're going to have to live there full time to do that because we're going to have a theft issue that the county sheriff's going to have to deal with. People are going to come in with bolt cutters and take whatever property's in there as well. As another gentleman said, we spent several $1 millions to move to a community that is rural, that you go and drive down the street and see horses, you see cows, you see farmland, you see ranches. And I appreciate that we want to expand the county. We want to bring in more income and develop. And what was said by the county in regards to the proposal to build throughout the county is that we're one of the fastest growing communities in the entire country now. And I don't know if that's something to be proud of or if that's something to be cautious of. We don't want to become the West Coast. We don't want to become a concrete village that nobody can enjoy any longer with outdoor hunting, fishing, or anything else that would come with the open spaces. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else wishing to speak for or against this rezoning request? Please come forward. Seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed for item REZ 25-030 for Jeffrey Turner. Commissioner James.
Mr. Chairman, Commission, I've spent most of this afternoon speaking to several entities about this project, going back and forth and advising and informing and gaining information for myself as well. Although there are many reasons that people are not necessarily liking some of the parts of the project itself, this does line up with our current plan, with our future plan. It does line up with the planning recommendation. So with staff comments, I move to approve.
Second. I have a motion and a second to approve item REZ 25-30 for Jeffrey Turner. Questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Nay. Motion to approve carries. Thank you. Mr. DeMasi.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have one last item for your consideration tonight. This is by Laws Bolden for WB Real Estate. This is located along Ocala Road. It's 5 different properties adjacent to each other. Current zoning is residential medium density. Proposed zoning is a planned unit development for various commercial uses on about 21 acres of land. According to the applicant's pattern book, which is on your iPads, this development proposes 3 commercial buildings, fostering, and I'm just going to read this right from their application, fostering a diverse but selective range of business opportunities within the area. Ideally positioned at the northeastern quadrant of Almaville Road interchange, this development capitalizes on access to Interstate 840. And you can read the rest of that. I won't go through everything. You will find a conceptual layout in the pattern book. The plan does show, as it stated, 3 buildings with a combined total of about 155,000 square feet worth of space. You'll also find some architectural elements, phasing plan, and also a list of proposed uses. There was a neighborhood meeting held on this particular application back in May of last year as part of a town hall meeting hosted by Commissioner James. Staff was present at that meeting as well, answered questions about the process and other topics. This item had been looked at originally at the August 11, 2025 meeting for the applicant to work with staff on timing and funding for proposed traffic improvements. I'll get to that here in a little more detail in just a moment. Back to the concept plan, you'll see that there are 2 proposed access points onto Ocala Road. You see a shared access drive which extends between buildings B and C. Customer client parking is shown on 3 sides of the building. You'll also see the loading bays are shown at the rear of all the buildings, which are closer to 840. Again, I'll get with about the traffic study. Traffic study was completed and reviewed by our traffic consultant. There were several items that were identified. Again, I'll get into more information on that here in just a minute. Non-residential plan developments are also required to, well, they're not required, non-residential are not required to have open space set-asides, but he is leaving an existing tree canopy along the frontage of the property to better screen it from Ocala Road. Surrounding properties are also zoned for non-residential use, so no buffering will be required on either side. Of course, as with any development that we see, an engineered site plan would have to be submitted to our office for our review, and our performance standards would also apply. Following, there was quite a bit of discussion on the traffic improvements in this area, which I'll get to in just a minute. Suffice it to say that after discussion, the Planning Commission did recommend approval of this request by a unanimous vote. As I stated, a lot of the discussion was about the traffic improvements. The traffic study that was done, reviewed by our third-party consultant, recommended several improvements, one of them being a traffic signal at the intersection of Ocala Road and Almaville Road, a right turn lane coming off of 840 westbound, and then also another traffic signal at eastbound 840 on the off-ramp. Obviously, this development is not responsible for all the costs for that, but a lot of the discussion that we had centered around an equitable division of those costs. Since the Planning Commission considered this, there's been a lot of discussion amongst staff with our county attorney's office and the applicant regarding that. I'm going to ask Nick Christensen right now if he could go through the particulars of that agreement.
Thank you, Doug. So the Planning Commission, as Doug explained, approved this unanimously, but they did so subject to and conditioned upon the execution of what's called a participation agreement, which memorializes the developer's voluntary contribution of monetary payments to the county to assist in improving public infrastructure. I've worked closely with SEC, Matt Taylor with SEC, and the developers team on coming up with that agreement. That is on your SharePoint tonight. And the monetary amount that is going to be voluntarily contributed is approximately $292,000. The developer is in agreement with that, and again, the legal form of this document is ready to go and is prepared. So if there is a motion to approve this, it is important that it be done in tandem with the approval of the rezoning, but also the approval of the participation agreement. The two are tied together, and there's language in the pattern book that would be approved tonight that includes language that references this participation agreement, and if there's any violation of the agreement, then it undoes the rezoning, so there's obligations from the developer moving forward to ensure that those payments are made. So again, if there's any motion to approve this, please do so by tying it to the approval also of the participation agreement that is before you.
You done? Any questions for Mr. DeMasi or for our county attorney at this time? Commissioner Piercy?
Doug, during your presentation, you said the developer would not be responsible for all the improvements to the roads, the lights.
For all the costs, is what I said, right.
Does the rest of that cost fall back on the county?
Some of it will. There's another development that was actually referenced during the public hearing which will be coming before you next month. They also have a portion of this cost as well. Also, if there's other developments in the area that end up coming around, we would expect them to probably contribute as well. There will be a county contribution, yes, but not for the entire amount.
And Commissioner, just to be clear, if I could, the participation agreement that's before you does not obligate the county to expend any funds at this time. It's just simply to memorialize the receipt of the contribution from the developer.
So we could refuse the money even after he got started?
Well, the way that the participation agreement is framed is that payments will be made as the development moves along in the process. As he continues to invest money in the development as it progresses along, installment payments will be made towards the county's fund to assist in public infrastructure improvements.
Can you ballpark the price it could possibly cost the county for this?
Doug, I can take that, I think. So the roadway improvements at issue, they're all estimates, but I think that the estimate, including all of the improvements, is over $1 million. And so the idea with the developer's equitable share is to reduce the county's cost in having to do those improvements whenever they decide to do them. And then the hope is that the other developer that is on the south side of 840 also enters into a similar voluntary participation agreement to, again, reduce the cost that the county would otherwise have to pay as a result of these road improvements being needed.
So we're looking at maybe 2 developers contribute to this cost?
Currently.
And his part was 2, did you say 295?
292.
292. So we're gonna wind up possibly with $400,000. So this gentleman can develop this piece of property.
Well, potentially, but like I think Mr. Christensen was saying just a minute ago, as of the current time, with what we see now, we already, I mean, as other development comes in this area, they may be also responsible for some of those costs as well. So anytime they contribute that, then our costs would go down, the county's cost.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Oliver?
Yes. Mr. Christensen, you said 292?
292,000.
Where is that, Mr. Demasi, in this background proposal? Because I see 100,000.
That's actually in the developer. The staff report that you're looking at
Yes.
was written prior to all these discussions that we've had, especially over the last couple of weeks, which is why I didn't really get into the numbers from the staff report, because I knew they weren't accurate anymore. But the developer agreement, which is on your iPad, which is if you were to make a motion or somebody made a motion to approve this, would be, we would recommend approval subject to that executed developer or participation agreement, if you will. So those numbers would be the ones that are binding.
And the developer, you said it's on here?
It's on the, yes, the developer agreement or the participation agreement. It's not on the staff report that I did.
Commissioners, the first item, if you're looking under public hearings, there's a document at the top. It's called the participation agreement. It's on the first page, four paragraphs down, 4.5 paragraphs down. And it's labeled participation agreement.
But you're saying that it's not on here correctly, but it's agreed to?
It wasn't written on the staff report.
I see it
When I wrote the
Yes.
staff report, this wasn't in place yet.
Okay, thank you. I was a little confused. Thank you.
Understood.
Other questions? Staff? I've been reminded, Commissioners, that it is our policy, if you would, to be recognized that you stand. It's my problem for not requiring that before. So if you would stand if you have a question. Since there's no other questions, I'll declare the public hearing open for item REZ 25-014 for Laws Bolden. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this rezoning request, please come forward. Seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Commissioner James.
Commissioners, I've worked with this project for a while now, with the community out there, with the developer, and I would want to point out that the way this developer has come out with both our neighborhood meetings, listening to them, working, rearranging things with them, coming back and forth, and even working with planning and coming back to this participation agreement, it has been textbook. And something that I would hope that any developers come in your districts, that you have somebody that works with you as well as this one has worked with me and my constituents out there. So for that, I would like to move to approve with staff comments and subject to this participation agreement.
Have a motion and a second to approve item REZ 25-014 for Laws Bolden. Questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you. Anything else?
Just a quick announcement about that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all I have for you tonight. I just wanted to make just a quick announcement. I believe it's on the agenda for later anyway, but just as a reminder, public hearing for in consideration of Plan Rutherford at the special county commission meeting called next week. Just wanted to make sure you were all aware of that. So with that, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Demasi. Getting back to our agenda, we're on item H, elections and confirmations. Calling our steering vice chair, Commissioner Pettis-Reed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Elections and confirmations, beginning with item 1, the election of notaries. This is a listing of your notaries, may be found on your iPads, Commissioners. Mr. Chairman, I move to confirm the elections of these individuals as Rutherford County notaries.
I have a motion and a second to approve the list of notaries. Any questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Is there any opposition? That motion to approve carries. Thank you.
Item 2, steering would like to announce one vacancy on the CUD board for a 4-year term. CUD recommends and the mayor will announce. Item 3, steering would like to also confirm Chris Copeland for the Codes Enforcement Adjustment and Appeals Board. This is a 5-year term. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Mr. Chair. Yes, you're recognized, Commissioner Cush.
Thank you. As any commissioner has this option, I would like to bring a name from the floor, and that would be the gentleman who came in second in that steering committee vote, and that would be Mr. Greg Gulick. That vote was 4-3 at the steering committee. If this was a 7-0 vote or a 6-1 vote, I would not be standing here bringing this to your attention. This was the first Monday after the New Year's holiday weekend. I don't know that we were entirely focused or entirely engaged. I'm just making some assumptions here. But if you look at the 2 applications for this codes appeals opening, one gentleman was clearly had the credentials to fill this position. Now, I know Mr. Copeland is a stand-up, motivated, talented guy. I know this because he works for the same bank my wife does, and that bank only hires motivated and talented people. And I'm sure my wife is looking at the TV right now with her jaw dropping, wondering what in the world I am doing. But I would rather have Mr. Copeland and my wife and maybe a few at steering committee upset with me, knowing that in the big picture, I would rather put the best horse behind the wagon for the Codes Department, for Tanya Bell and her staff, and Public Works. I'm a 12-year member of the Public Works Department. Codes reports to Public Works. So it's my responsibility, the Public Works responsibility, to put the right person on the bus. Mr. Gulick comes from a plumbing family. He has been in 3 different codes departments in 3 large cities. He's also been asked by the city of Murfreesboro to fill a full-time vacancy for their codes department. But because he's retired, he doesn't want a full-time position, but he wants to be involved. So with his credentials, he would be perfect for the Codes Appeals Adjustment Board. So I'm going to put his name forward for consideration. I'm going to turn it back to you, Mr. Chair. I don't know if both applicants, I know I'm catching Mr. Copeland off guard. If we would like to defer a vote until next full commission so everybody can have a chance to look at the applications, that would be perfectly fine with me, but I'm going to turn it back to you for your decision. Thank you all.
We've had a nomination from the floor which meets our criteria for Mr. Gulick. The steering committee has recommended a Mr. Copeland, and I'm not sure, is Mr. Copeland here tonight? And is Mr. Gulick here tonight? Without objection, I'd like for both of these individuals, Mr. Copeland, to start and introduce themselves and make a statement as to why you're applying for the position.
My name is Chris Copeland. I live in District 2, and thank you for the commission for consideration. Also, thank you to the steering committee for their consideration. I'm not a native of Rutherford County, but I've lived here for over 40 years. My mom is a native. Her dad and grandfather owned a furniture store right over there on the square. My wife is a native. She teaches in the Rutherford County school system. We have 2 children. One is a graduate of MTSU. The other attends there now. That is correct, and thank you, Commissioner Cush. I don't have the same exact resume as the other consideration, but I am very interested and motivated to try to serve this county that I love. I do work for a local financial institution, and they are very supportive of active involvement in county government. And so I appreciate the time and the consideration.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Copeland while he's up here? Thank you. Mr. Gulick?
I'm Greg Gulick. I'm in District 7. The reason I'm interested in this position is I've had 17 years of code enforcement experience, both as a code officer, supervisor, and then director of multiple departments. I built 2 departments from the ground up, and I consulted another city in Texas on their department. Further, one of the main reasons I really wanted to do this is I thought I have a lot of time on my hands, and I feel like I still have experience that's relative to code enforcement at this time. It's not out of date. Finally, I also feel that with my knowledge and background dealing with cities, states, and government entities in code enforcement, I'm hoping there'd be less of a ramp up in learning what I need to do to help the citizens of Rutherford County. I'm open to any questions anyone may have.
Thank you. We've got 2 individuals that's been nominated for the part-time position in codes enforcement. Madam Clerk will call the roll, and you'll vote for one. Copeland or Golick? Take a minute. And Lisa, call the roll when you're ready.
Commissioner Oliver,
Golick.
Commissioner Piercy,
Golick.
Commissioner Hall,
Golick.
Commissioner P,
Copeland.
Commissioner Davison,
Golick.
Commissioner Beverly,
Golick.
Commissioner Cush,
Golick.
Commissioner Reed,
Copeland.
Commissioner James,
Copeland.
Commissioner Wilson,
Copeland.
Commissioner Anthony Johnson,
Copeland.
Commissioner Boyd,
Copeland.
Commissioner Paul Johnson,
Copeland.
Commissioner Irvin,
Golick.
Commissioner Harris, Commissioner Dodd,
Golick.
Commissioner McAdoo,
Copeland.
Commissioner McMurray,
Golick.
I'm sorry,
Golick.
Commissioner Gooch,
Copeland.
Commissioner Sereno,
Gordon.
Chairman Phillips,
Copeland. While they're totaling this vote, this is the exact thing that happened in the steering committee, and I'd like to commend both of the applicants. They are outstanding applicants, and appreciate both of them presenting themselves to the commission for service to the county. took a little while to tally the votes, but Mr. Copeland has been nominated. So congratulations, Mr. Copeland. And once again, thank you, Mr. Golick, for your willingness to serve.
Moving into item 4, steering wishes to confirm the reappointment of Tom Beckman and Michael Shirley to the Conservation Board. This is a 5-year term, February 2026 to February 2031. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to confirm the reappointment of Mr. Beckwith and Mr. Shirley. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. Thank you.
Item 5, steering also would like to confirm Shannon Hicks for the Rutherford County Regional Planning Commission to fill in a retiring member seat, that of Mr. Jim Avawater, who has retired. The term expires for August 2026. This is a mayor's appointment. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to confirm Shannon Hicks to the Planning Commission. Questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion to approve carries. I'd like to just make one quick statement. Jim Avawater has been a member of the Planning Commission for years and years, and he's retired from his position as a home builder, and now he's retiring from his position from the Planning Commission, and I'd like to thank him for his service to the county. I appreciate his service and what he has done for this county throughout the years. Thank you, Jim. If you're listening, we appreciate what you've done. Commissioner Reed.
Mr. Chairman, this concludes the business of elections and confirmations.
Thank you. Item I, resolution to approve the consent agenda. Chairman Pro Tem Trey Gooch.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and colleagues. I have reviewed the consent agenda and find everything to be appropriate. Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve our consent agenda. Any questions? For this, commissioners will be on the board. If you would, please cast your vote. Mike. Mike Pettis.
Got to vote. You have to vote.
You're voting on the consent agenda. If you guys are awake.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the vote.
21 yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. Item L, we're getting into our reports from our standing committees. First up is item L1, Budget, Finance, and Investment Committee. Chairman Robert P.
Good afternoon. We've got 3 items on our agenda. First, budget item A. And this is actually money that has already been appropriated, and it was for a purchase order that we thought had been paid. The money was turned back into finance and actually should not have been, so this is just a correction. Be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the general fund be amended as follows: and increase expenditures to jail building improvements, $179,500, a decrease in unassigned fund balance of $179,500. Resolved this 15th day of January 2026. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
I have a motion and a second. Questions or comments? Please cast your vote. Record the vote. Item L1A passes. Commissioner P.
Budget item B. This resolution It's actually us making a payment to the charter schools, which is required by the state. Be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the General Purpose School Fund be amended according to the schedule and attached hereto is Exhibit 1 and incorporated herein by reference as if set forth herein at length verbatim. Resolved this 15th day of January 2026. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion. Commissioners, please cast your vote.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the vote.
21 yes.
Item L1B passes. Commissioner P.
Budget item C, the school board has requested to buy some property adjacent to McFadden School, and this is a resolution related to that. Whereas there is a need for land for Rutherford County schools, and whereas the Rutherford County Board of Education requested to put down earnest money and proceed with the purchase of 5 properties surrounding McFadden Elementary Schools, and whereas funding was approved by the Health and Education and the Budget, Finance, and Investment Standing Committees, and whereas the total funding request for the earnest money is $65,000, and whereas the purchase and earnest money will be funded from leftover funds for the Church Street project in the other capital projects fund. Therefore, be it resolved by the Rutherford County Board of Commissioners that the funding of earnest money and the purchase of the 5 properties surrounding McFadden Elementary School shall be and are hereby approved, resolved this 15th day of January 2026. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion on the motion. Commissioners, please cast your vote.
Anyone that did not vote and wishes to vote, or anyone who would like to change your vote, you may do so now.
Record the vote.
19 yes, 2 no.
Item L1C passes. Thank you. Commissioner P.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes our business. However, I do want to mention that our next meeting will be February 5th, our next Budget Committee hearing. And a reminder for those of you that have drug your feet on filing your conflict of interest report due to the state by the end of the month, just a quick reminder for that. And then 2, I meant to do this earlier when we recognized the Oakland football team, is any of you out there, commissioners or in the public that would like to donate to help these young men purchase their rings, that would be strongly appreciated. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Chairman P. Public Safety Committee, Chairman Pettis-Reed.
Mr. Chairman, we have no report, but our next meeting will be January the 26th here in this room at 5:30.
Thank you, sir. Health and Education Committee, Chairman Phil Dodd.
Thank you, Chairman. Our next meeting will be in these chambers Tuesday, January 27th, 5:30 p.m.
Thank you, Chairman. Property Management Committee, Chairman Alan McAdoo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our next meeting will be January the 29th at 5:30 p.m.
Thank you, Chairman. Public Works and Planning Committee, Chairman Anthony Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our next meeting will be February the 3rd. That'll be in this chambers at 5:30.
Thank you, Chairman. Steering Legislative and Governmental Committee, Chairman Craig Harris.
Mr. Chairman, we had no report. Our next meeting will be February 2nd. Also, Commissioners, if you would like to, I will be addressing our public comments at the request of the chairman. And if there's, I would like you to email me any of your suggestions on this, because it seems to be where a lot of people have a lot of questions about this, and I want to make sure that I get everybody's opinion on this. So if you can, email me that before February 2nd. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Harris. We're about to go into an executive session. I'd like to cover other business before that. The executive session might take a little while tonight. And I want to remind everyone of our special called meeting next Thursday night on January 22nd. It'll be at 6 p.m. in this chambers, and the only topic that we'll discuss will be Plan Rutherford, and we'll conduct a public hearing on Plan Rutherford. Any particular shout-outs before we get into our executive session? Anyone? Commissioner McMurray.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to recognize, a lot of people don't realize that in our high schools we have some great culinary arts. And so tonight, the Blackman High School has graciously provided our commissioners with some refreshments next door, some desserts. So it just showcases what these students do on a daily basis. So I told them, I'd give them a shout out. So thank you, Blackman High School, for doing that. And then also real quick, I know this is Martin Luther King weekend, but many people may be off, but let's try to take Monday, it's not a day off, but let's use it as a day on to do some type of community service, whether something small. So just wanted to announce that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Commissioner Oliver.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, two things. First thing I want to say is I want to acknowledge the citizens for their courage to come and give comment. I'm happy to see citizens engaged, regardless of what the topic is, even though this is a topic that I agree with. But I like the fact that citizens are engaged and want to let us hear from them as to whatever their concerns are. The second thing I want to do is I want to acknowledge the Rutherford County Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta, which is my sorority. For our Founders Day this week, we actually filled the blessing boxes around Rutherford County. So I want to acknowledge Founders Day and the Rutherford County Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Thank you. Anyone else? Commissioner Davison.
So I would like to give a shout out to our students at Laverne High School that are in the CTE program for welding. So they are actually going to be featured on a reality TV show, building a racing bike. You can find my commissioner page, or if you're interested, I can email you the link, and you can follow along on their YouTube channel and watch them. And I believe it's Kyle Petty who stopped by the school to check in on their progress. So shout out to our LHS kids.
Thank you, Commissioner Davison. It's good that we can recognize some accomplishments other than on the football field. Thank you. Good job. Anyone else? Commissioner James.
Mr. Chairman, I had some fortunate to spend some time with a gentleman and a couple gentlemen at the beginning of this week. I want to shout out to Matthew Diggs and his recruiter, Sergeant Stevenson. Matthew Diggs has enlisted and is going through the process for the officer candidate program with the United States Army. And I had some time to spend with one-on-one with him and kind of test him out. And as a soldier myself, it was good to see on the precursor what kind of character that we are recruiting out of our backyard here. So I wanted to give him a direct shout out on that.
Thank you. Anyone else? I'd like to recognize people that are up here in the front, the county clerk's office, Lisa Crowell and her team, and what they mean to the county, what they meant to this commissioner, especially over the last 4 years. Michael Smith, we've recognized him recently over the last year or so for the job that his department does. But tonight, I want to recognize and shout out the person sitting to my left and to your right, which would be our county attorney, Nick Christensen. I have spent as much time with him over the last 4 years than I've spent with my wife. And he has kept me on the straight and narrow, and he's answered every question and given me guidance. And I don't know of anyone that's associated with the county that's put in more hours in dealing with county business than Nick Christensen. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate what he does for this county, and I'll still look forward to working with him in the future and hope that you guys do too. So thank you, Nick, for what you do for the county. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go into executive session, which means that everyone will clear the room except for our county attorney and commissioners. I'll call the county commission back into order, and I'll recognize our county attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So appreciate everybody's listening to me for the last little while. Just wanted to download some information to you on a few legal matters. As we stated in there, there was no deliberations that took place, and appreciate everybody's questions. Thank you.
As stated earlier, our next meeting will be next Thursday night. It'll be a special call meeting to deal with Plan Rutherford, and then our regularly scheduled meeting will be on February the 12th at 6 p.m. Anything else? Thank you for your participation and your attendance tonight. We are adjourned.